championships are also won in the trenches. Miami offensively number one. This offense, they are going to score on anybody. They don't have one positional weakness on the offensive side of the ball. And at quarterback, they might have the Heisman Trophy winner in Cam Ward. You know, championships are also won in the trenches. Miami offensively can run the football. They're physical up front, and defensively, their D-line is very disruptive.
And in the first half against Duke, they did exactly that. But what did you say, Jeremy? They opened it up and they closed out this game in a dominant fashion. So really, we're not even worried about the first half. We're not worried about what Duke did to get Miami behind the ropes because of what Cam Ward did, because of how Restrepo handled the game, big numbers, receiving touchdowns, so many different things. They got the run game going. They played not so good defense, but good enough to win. And so when you look at it, Miami is finding a way to win these tough games. That's what happens whenever you're a good team. Whenever you're 9-0, the target is going to be on your back. So every team you play is going to give you their absolute best effort. And Miami is finding ways to pull away further and further in these close games, start to open them up and make them turn into dominant wins.
Cam Ward has been such a tremendous addition to this football team. His leadership, his poise at all times during games, no matter how much they're up, no matter how much they're down, he stays so resilient. Going down 11 points, still staying laser focused, finding Restrepo, finding Jacoby George, finding Horton, just getting the ball to all his different playmakers. I thought their offensive line did an excellent job protecting them today, even in the first half. He had plenty of time to throw the football. That first touchdown to Restrepo, felt like he was back there for like 12 seconds. He took a shot. He took a shot.
He took a hit.
He threw a great ball down the field, giving them an opportunity. They have a ton of weapons on their offense between himself, their run game, Mark Fletcher, Damian Martinez. They have power backs along with the speed on the outside. They're a dangerous football team, man.
Won the final. They improved to 9-0 on the season. And what a day for Cam Ward. You know, we were talking with Mackenzie Brooks, and she said, look, in order to beat Dylan Gabriel, he's got to have these big games. How's 5 touchdowns and 400 yards for you? He had an interception. Miami kind of played with their food early in this game, but then managed to take control. And, of course, Ward leading the way. Xavier Restrepo also had a big day. 8 receptions, 146. Set the program record for yards as well, surpassing Santana Moss. He had 3 receiving touchdowns. A big, big day for the 5th-ranked Hurricanes.
Down in Miami Gardens earlier today, so we got to show you one. Now the all-time leader in receiving yards down there at Miami, tied receptions down there at Miami. Cam Ward ties the record for for passing touchdowns in a single season down at Miami.
Yeah,
He'll certainly
and
break that.
he got kissed really hard by Michael Irvin on the sideline there. So.
That's what you get when you're that good. Miami picking up another win. They remain undefeated. And here's a look at the rest of their schedule. What do you make at what lies ahead for the Canes coming up here, Coach?
It looks like playoff time. Playoff time.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Hey Rudy Guru, aka Soccer God Studio One Live Production. Hey, our offensive line is getting blamed for a lot of Cam Ward's acrobatic decisions. And here's an example of such. On Miami Hurricanes, Orange Bowl boys, student of the game.
I think they know the drill. You know, Cam Ward, the ultimate gunslinger, the ultimate
Looking pretty good, nice pocket.
Playmaker. He can extend, but
Now number 7 is getting pushed a little bit.
You know what? They don't give up on the play. Just watch.
Yeah,
Still hands engaging. We're going to go ahead and bury that.
You're right. See, 7-8 then got itself reset. And they didn't give up on the play because they know Cam Ward is going to find him some time and extend the play. They also know Cam is on a Heisman campaign, so he's going to run around and try to look spectacular.
Defensive end. They're still looking for work, So kudos and tip of the cap to your offensive line, affording Cam Ward.
See, Cam could throw it to him if he wants. But he always looking for a big play.
6.9 seconds. Sure, Cam gets a lot of credit on that too. And Xavier Restrepo, he's taking an in-breaking route at first. He's driving. It's like a skinny post. And when it's not there, you have to go ahead and highlight and accentuate Xavier Restrepo's headiness because he's finding the back of the end zone right now, right? And he's coming to meet his quarterback. So he's in a good position here. Yeah, it gets tipped. But he's there because Xavier Restrepo, intelligent wide receiver, understands the scramble drill. And you know the drill. Bang. You know, the NFL scouts are obviously going to see the University of Miami Hurricane record holder in terms of like receptions and yardage. But this is what's going to get the kid to the league. See him? See him? Hike. Springs the play. Mark Fletcher takes care of the rest. Not only is he your Miami Hurricane leading receiver, he's also a willing and able blocker. Now, on the flip side, Duke is not giving you that field side cushion that the University of Miami is doing, and it's going to be a highly contested catch. But my goodness, what a ball, and what even a better catch by Jacoby George here. Wins on that outside release, cornerback's right in his back pocket, into the sun. What a catch. Great job. No defense for the perfect pitch and catch. All right, I'm going to highlight this play for two reasons, because it's highly dangerous. It's dangerous because Duke essentially almost catches you on a cornerback trap from the one, and because your right tackle for your University of Miami Hurricanes, extremely dangerous on this play. Let's look at part one first. This is what I mean by the trap. Listen, they're not going to make it hard for you. There's Xavier. They're not going to make it hard for you. There's Xavier Restrepo. This is cornerback one in press man. He has.
Look at Maui Noah slap this man to the ground.
Listen, they're not going to make it hard for you. There's Xavier Restrepo.
Slap this man to the ground.
Listen, they're not going to make it hard for you. There's Xavier Restrepo.
Slap this man to the ground.
Listen, they're not going to make it hard for you. There's Xavier Restrepo.
Slap this man to the ground.
Listen, they're not going to make. There's Xavier Restrepo. Get hard for you. Bo, this is cornerback one in press man. He has a responsibility. The ball's coming out. They just have a little better wherewithal there. So he's going to go ahead and trap this down, and it's dangerous. Look, it ends up still being a 2-for-1, even though you see a press man corner. Good ball, good arm confidence. Honestly, Cam Ward wins that because of his quick release. If he's a little bit more deliberate, if he doesn't have the arm confidence, that's probably getting picked. I'm being honest, okay? But we can go ahead and enjoy Xavier Restrepo's second touchdown of the game. Now, the other reason why this is dangerous, pay attention to your right tackle. Defensive end, right tackle. Okay? Enjoy. That's one way to keep his hands on the ground. When you play the game of chess, sometimes it's a strategic move to give up a pawn. You're just setting them up later for another move. Well, do you remember the first play that you saw in Student of the Game this week? It was this formation. It was a 4-by-1 diamond look empty. Do you remember where the safety was? Yeah, the safety was more in the middle of the field, and now he's cheated more over to where they were victimized on play number one from this formation, which was a slant. So 4-on-4, and here was the setup. Cam Ward snaps the ball, and he's just going to go ahead, fake that bubble screen, moves like Jagger, take that double move, and up the field we go. Chess. Bang. You know what? On the scout team, when I watched Duke play SMU, Duke did this thing where the defensive back turned his back towards the quarterback to kind of bait him into thinking maybe he wasn't paying attention, and then just came back and broke down on the in-breaking route. Well, wouldn't you know it? It's exactly what he's trying to do here. Safety at the snap of the ball. Look what he does. Intentional. Just see how he turns his back? Just a little too soon, and now he's going ahead and snapping back around. But when he did that, he created a little bit too much space. Cam Ward with the quick release, it's quicker than what that DB saw last week, and Xavier Restrepo would split those two safeties. That's all he needed. And the rest? Well, the rest is just a gallop into the record books.
And especially if it's one of the brands. So if it's SEC or Miami, great game on, and especially if it's one of the brands. So if it's SEC or Miami, great game on, and especially if it's one of the brands. So if it's SEC or Miami, great game on, and especially if it's one of the brands. So if it's SEC or Miami, you're going to have the eyeballs. Like, it's automatic. And now you get a Miami team like this, and you get a Miami team that is chunk plays and a Heisman level quarterback and exciting and undefeated and feels like they got the swag again. And yeah, man, it's on fire.
This story is unbelievable. Chip on his shoulder, under-recruited out of high school, from a 0-star to a 5-star.
There were 249 quarterbacks in Camp's recruiting class. He was not one of them.
I'm the best player in the country. I'm humbly saying that, and I'm confident saying that.
The dude is special. The dude is just very, very special.
This guy isn't supposed to be this good.
My, oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day. My, oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day. My, oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day. My, oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day.
When you look at the Heisman Trophy race right now,
He needs to be in New York for the Heisman.
You never sense an ounce of panic.
Cam Ward doesn't flinch.
Nothing short of unreal.
I think the first thing that jumps out to me about Cam Ward is you can tell his confidence.
His confidence, his swagger.
He's calm, he's collected. He has a low heart rate, low
Cam Ward is
pulse.
doing things we've never seen before. No one does this.
It felt like kind of like Little League. It felt like kind of like Little League. It felt like kind of like Little League.
Except for one.
Ready? Create something out of nothing.
Absolutely sensational. There's a reason why he's at the top when you look at the Heisman Trophy race right now.
Spencer had him. Ward flips it to Williams. How do you like this?
Just an absolute playmaker at its finest.
Go ahead and buy the ticket and all that, but he also needs to make room in his house where he's going to put that Heisman Trophy. We're not just talking about going there. We're talking about winning it.
Welcome to the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
And you know about Cam Ward. He has been brilliant.
Score on anybody in the country. Miami can beat any team in the country because they can outscore any team in the country, and that is a fact. And
This is a pretty fair criticism.
Miami can score on anybody. Miami can beat any team in the country because they can outscore any team in the country, and that is a fact. And
This is a pretty fair
Miami can score on anybody in the country. Miami can beat any team in the country because they can outscore any team in the country, and that is a fact. And
This is a pretty fair criticism.
Miami can score on anybody in the country. Miami can beat any team in the country because they can outscore any team in the country, and that is a fact. And you're talking to
And what did he say? This is an ESPN guy who loves the SEC. You heard him say he's an SEC fan. Grew up rooting for the SEC. Growing up in the Northeast, tailgating at the Boston College games. And he's secretly an SEC fan. He's still an SEC fan. It sounds like he's a Miami fan. At least this brand of Miami fan.
somebody that is, working games at I've had 3 Alabama games. I work LSU games. I work mostly in the SEC with the exception of the Canes are, a national level program. So I'm going to end up doing Canes games, which I'm thrilled to have my 3rd one of the year. And also I can, of course, sleep at home and drive over Alligator Alley, which is nice. But they can score and beat anybody in the country. They can outscore anybody in the country. We know the limitations of the defensive backfield. We know they've given up chunk plays. They caught a bad injury there.
Not only the play, but it's how comfortable Lance Guidry and this Miami Hurricane staff are with the true freshman going up against Florida State's best wide receiver on an island with just one single high safety. Like there's not much help for OJ Frederick Jr. coming into this play. You roll the film here. Really, really good off the line of scrimmage. Just remains in Malik Benson's pocket. Again, the short area quick's really good. Again, Malik Benson's a 10-4 guy in the 100-meter dash. He's one of the fastest players in all of the country. This is not a bad ball by Luke Kromenhoek. OJ Frederick Jr. just eats him up. I mean, this is as good as it gets from a true freshman cornerback, especially working on one of the better wide receivers on this Florida State roster, which unfortunately is not saying much. One look where they're going to leak a safety down into the middle of the field in that robber look with just one single high safety. Again, we're going to leave OJ Frederick Jr. on an island against true freshman LaWayne McCoy. Take a look at this rep. This is another one of those textbook reps where he's just going to squeeze the true freshman wide receiver right to the sideline. Yeah, he gets a little bit handsy here. He doesn't get called for it. This is how it looks. Like when you have a boundary wide receiver that is running vertically down the field, just squeeze him out. Take the real estate away. That's what OJ Frederick Jr. does. We saw in the first rep.
That defensive line is also now getting to the point as they've come back to full health. where they can wreck people and be destructive and create game-changing, game-altering plays. We saw that for moments against Louisville. But I think it's going to be fascinating to see this Miami team with this offense, this level of coaching and confidence and talent and leadership at quarterback and veterans at other places go up against what would be considered a traditional SEC power in the postseason.
Are loaded with a bunch of really good players. I think tonight for us, I felt like 2 weeks ago against Bama, I felt like up front we held up better up until in the Alabama game, up until the last 5-6 minutes 40 seconds, I guess it was. Here I felt like we wore down a little bit sooner.
Let's go. I think Joe Tessitore is about as drunk as me on the cane Kool-Aid. Let's go. I don't think this guy is believing what he's hearing. Look at his face. He's not believing what he's hearing.
I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. We all trying to get better every day, and at the end of the day, we all got dreams. That's to go to the NFL. If it's not your dream, do that. If you got something else, but we all got one common goal. That's to win football games. The stat stuff is really out the way. I put up some stats in my previous schools. The only thing that's gonna get me to where I want to go is winning. The only thing that's gonna get our defense where they want to go is winning. So that's the biggest thing we focus on, going to camp, competing against each other, and getting to first game, second game, third game, trying to come out with a win.
You say winning, consistently, it hasn't come. What gives you the confidence that you come in this score and win right away? Obviously your window's tight, so let's win now. What gives you that confidence?
I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit. I think what gives us the confidence is that we believe that shit.